everyone? Welcome back to another fantastic day of Overwatch. I am joined by my esteemed guest, Get Corn.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let me just make sure I got the whole lobby situation set up.
Everything seems to be solid right now. And I'll allow Adam to continue and introduce him by saying the person that is hosting me and allowing me to be here is Eric Culver over at twitch.tv/Eric Culver. We're going to be casting another UHart game today against a familiar rival we played against in the past. But this time it's for all keeps, as this will be the first game in their playoff run for NACE Star League. Super exciting match ahead of us. Full roster on the side of the University of Hartford. I imagine the same, or hope the same, on VCU, as I'm expecting a giga banger today. Something that's going to be really enjoyable to behold.
For sure. So, as we get this first match underway, once I start game mode, we're going to do everyone's favorite name check, just to, make sure we're familiar with the names. We've seen them before, but we'll look at them once again. We've got Aradius, Panda, Jalini, Hippie, and Salty Sylveon. And our familiar roster for the University of Hartford, we've got Super Vader, Nift, Become Based, Become Galaxy, and Blackout. It's looking like it's going to be a fun day today.
Absolutely, and for the early games, for the early matches against teams like VCU Rams that we didn't actually get to cast, or at least forgot to do something important, we should probably hit the name game. And this is going to be a first. Actually, not a first particularly, but a rare occurrence, rare happenings. As I think this goes to VCU Rams on the name game side.
I've got to agree.
Character usage, yeah.
They've got a couple great names.
Panda, I love Aradius. I'll be honest.
Aradius is one of my favorite names. Jelini is interesting, but it's solid.
Makes you think if it's related somehow, both Jelini and Aradius, to some sort of late mythology. But
yeah,
instead we're going to deal in the present and the reality. It's going to be this first game.
And now, interesting matchup. Looking at the two comps, the enemy team opting. It's a mirror matchup, except we're opting to run a Winston on the side of Hartford versus a Zarya on the side of VCU. So, starting out early, we've got great point control coming out from the Winston, and Nift already finding a pick onto the enemy Lucio. That's a fantastic way to start this off. As we know, Nift, very consistent on that Sojourn. Always looking to get those first bloods with a railgun to the dome.
Absolutely, and
as we say that though, Salty Sylveon, and Nift takes one out in exchange. As two players go down, Come Galaxy gets taken out early. Become Based finds a pick on Salty Sylveon in the backline. Zarya beaming down Nift. Oh, Become Based just on this massive flank, killing them all. Zarya, all that remains for VCU as Hartford cleans up this first. It was sort of a first, sort of a second fight.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. The core difference between these comps is the Winston, and that's going to allow you to have faster fights, even lengthier ones, as Zarya is just going to have to walk through you, and you're going to use that opportunity to jump into the backline, doing damage and taking out support heroes as the Zarya can't live as long as they can. And that was really well played by University of Hartford. Hope that the Winston works out for them here, as it's going to be another fight starting up real quick.
Blackout finds one, Super Vader finds a second, Nift still on this big flank. Looking to get a pick on the Kiriko. She teleports away. Sojourn, only one left in right now, but she might be able to get out. Winston actually goes super aggressive, looking for the final blow. Nift picks them off with the slow, and they find a pick onto Pandas with the railgun.
And not only just resetting that target and giving them a little bit more extra trickle to end the fight off there, it was also huge to just get that Zarya charge, no matter how low or high it was, just end off and just clear the slate for this next fight. That's going to be really big. The overclock's going to come in early.
Comes off early, just looking to find a pick in this, like, the pre-fight almost. Just if they can find a pick now, they're not going to get a clean fight. And there he finally finds one. Takes a little longer than he hoped, but a pick is a pick at the end of the day, and Nift takes out, might have been 3, Sojourn, all that left. Zarya goes down, Sojourn, Reaper comes back. I believe he's stuck in a 1v4 situation, as Super Vader did fall. Lucio last man standing on the side of VCU. And that's going to be the end of round number 1 as Hartford finds a clean 100-0.
I really enjoyed the fact that they had such a strong surplus of ultimates at the end that you could just burn that Lucio really quickly with the Blossom from on the side of Become Base on UHart. Really impressive play overall, and I thought that the rotation of ultimates suited really well, as earlier in the fight we didn't even notice the Graviton came out from Panda, and no purchase. Zero chokehold is able to be grabbed in the game, in the positioning whatsoever off of that grab, and that's just really well played from the entirety of University of Hartford, who's really gelling as a unit right now. And that's really interesting. Also looks like we're going to be getting a swap out from Panda here, opting to go back into the comp that University of Hartford started off on.
With the Winston, this is going to be a full mirror matchup. I find it quite interesting to see how every team has decided to kind of almost do away with what they had been playing during the initial weeks of this season and just opt into the comp that we watched played in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, and the meta hasn't shifted. It's just been completely community driven.
Yeah, exactly. There has not been any patch released yet. So, Hartford forgetting to capture the point. As I was saying, there has not been any patch released yet. The biggest changes coming next week are going to be a massive nerf to Zarya, D.Va, and Genji, as well as Sombra. So, I know many teams such as Hartford have opted just to spend the past week or two practicing the new upcoming comp so they can be prepared ahead of time. Now,
and that's the comp we're seeing right now. I mean, that's just the proof of the fact that they try out this comp so much, they like it, they enjoy it, and they're playing it here. University of Hartford's doing a great job controlling the space, not giving up too much, but knowing when to back out.
Exactly. Now, Nift almost finds a pick onto the enemy Winston. Winston getting really low. Blackout able to take him out. Nift finds the Lucio. Now, Reaper forced to use his fade, running away. But I don't think Hartford's going to let anyone live here.
Wow, and dropping down that slow field like a titanium rod from a space station, orbiting the Earth. Nif doing a fantastic job with these aerial shots. Misses hit the spray pattern. Beautiful job by Nif, as he's been dominating on the Sojourn. If we look at the statistics, we can't because it's not in the game yet, but definitely would see high numbers, not only in the damage category, but the elims here. So Nif has been doing a great job of finishing.
Yeah. Now, coming into this next fight, we're looking at a variety of ultimates online for both teams. I'm expecting VCU to engage early with the Kitsune Rush by Hippie, but Nift takes out a Radius before they can even get the chance. Nift still has his Overclock online, Become Based has his Blossom as well. Blackout opts to use the Sound Barrier just to keep his team alive as they look for these last second picks. But we are once again in last fight territory on Oasis here.
Absolutely, and it's going to be 10 seconds left on the clock here for even a touch to occur. It looks like it's going to be possible for VCU Rams here. And Winston booped off a little bit, but they're going to be engaging early, using the Kiriko ult, and Panda immediately finds one, but that's going to be a huge Blossom in the backline, as the Become Base is going to be able to find two there. Crucial picks. Panda is still alive. Should be an easy cleanup. He's making it a little bit harder, belaboring the point as this Primal comes out. He gets the Reaper incredibly low, not being able to finish the kill though. It's going to be cleaned up here in a second, and that should be it.
Lucio, only one even close to being able to touch, as Nif takes his head off as he's flying through the air. Fantastic
close
work.
is just not close enough for that Lucio. When you're still on the monitor of Nift, it's going to be a dangerous proposition. As we do see the play of the game coming out here from Become Base. Very exciting. It was a very solid, commanding first round. I don't even think that the VCU Rams were actually in possession of the point at any point of that entire map, which is, you know, good tidings for the UHart team here, doing very well so far as they go 1-up against VCU Rams.
Certainly. Now, this next map looks like it's going to be Kings Row, which used to be the most common map in general of Overwatch. Most teams love playing this map. Typically,
I have a cool hypothetical for you.
Go for it.
Would you be okay with them introducing sort of map picking system for competitive play?
Like in like solo queue comp type of stuff?
Yeah.
You know, I think it'd be interesting. I think maybe like a like you queue in and you have 2 maps presented to you, and the 10 people in the lobby can take a vote.
Maybe even throw in a random, harken back to the old Call of Duty days, as I do believe you have to start the match.
I do indeed.
But yeah, that would be really cool, and I think it would be interesting to have all 10 people take a vote. And the hypothetical comes from that. What map do you think, and more pointed of a question, do you think that Kings Row would continue to be the most popular map in a map pick system like that?
I think Kings Row would be towards the top. I could see Ilios being really high up there too. I'm personally not a big fan of the map, but it's not my favorite, but I know a lot of people put it at their top.
Absolutely, I definitely could see Lijiang being up there as well. And I think anything beyond Kings Row, Ilios, and Lijiang, I think that everything else would be a pretty brutal fight to try and defend it being the top map, as everyone has some cutthroat opinions about their favorite maps. If you're watching this on YouTube, why don't you throw your favorite map in the comments below? If you're in chat, spend them in chat. Remember, we stream these lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays, twitch.tv/EricCulver. And a little promotion done, we can return back to the game here as we have 15 seconds to start. Looks like comps are going to remain largely the same. However, Panda is going to resort back to the Zarya here.
And I honestly think that's a good idea. I think Zarya, in the current patch, is just a stronger option than Winston in the current state of the meta. I think you can run this same comp, but you just run it with the Zarya instead of the Winston. Unfortunately, I think Hartford has just really been outperforming as on both an individual and on a team level. We saw a variety of pop-up plays coming from our DPS, and that was really, really able to carry us through round number 1.
Absolutely, but we're seeing really good zoning out from the Winston here as they take command of the point and they're forced to back out as a very well-placed bubble, but they're going to have to watch this hotel flank.
As the hotel flank tanks out become based without even really being able to react to it. Super Vader forced to jump away. Blackout fortunately caught out, stranded in the open.
Taking so much damage.
Nift falls. Super Vader going to fall shortly, I expect. There he goes. Come Galaxy, now all that remains. Finds a headshot, looking to get a pick on the Kiriko, not quite able to finish it off. And that's going to do it as VCU Rams managed to take point number 1 in a relatively clean fashion.
Yeah, and that was incredibly clean. They played well. I don't even think they lost a single member, as Lucio's going to get incredibly low there, but does manage to get out. And you definitely see the benefits of Zarya on a more brawl-centric map. Not a lot of high grounds to take advantage of when it comes to Winston up until that third point, and it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult for that Winston to be able to take flat ground space and positioning in the entirety of the second point. So University of Hartford's going to be playing very intelligently and not watch out the flanks really well.
They have this grab online, looking for it, finds 2, finds 3, a fantastic grab, but doesn't find anything as Blackout manages to build the sound barrier just in time. Come Galaxy now pulls out his ultimate, become base, just letting loose as Super Vader and Nift just go deep into the backline. I believe Sojourn the only one, Sojourn and Reaper the only ones able to make it out on the side of VCU.
But that was a very heavy ult economy loss for the University of Hartford. They might have won the fight, but the battle is still ongoing here, as they do have a small disadvantage. They will have the Reaper ult coming up soon and the Primal, but the Primal's going to be very much used to just keep them alive. And the Reaper ult on the side of VCU online, overclock, very close, and a beat to save.
He's looking to get really aggressive, looking for an option right now. He's just turboing straight into the backline, but he gets forced out early as the Primal Rage from Super Vader. Oh my lord, they're all so weak! Only Nift falls so far. Come Galaxy falls shortly after Super Vader now. Certainly next as Blackout falls, but Super Vader manages to escape with his life. Oh, what is going on with... Don't you dare. Okay, I thought he was about to
I thought it was going to happen as well. I thought it was going to happen as well. We've seen it happen before, but thankfully the University of Hartford's become base does not pop that ultimate in a 1v4 situation. Does stall the cart even a second, which can be incredibly helpful as the cart isn't even rounding the last corner just yet, rounding the second to last. And the University of Hartford's going to be able to very easily retake space and be able to recontest.
Now, Nift looking to build up this rail before the fight really breaks out so he can find a pick just to give his team an early 5v4 advantage. I will say he's spending a lot of his time to charge his rail just by shooting a bubbled Zarya, which can be really dangerous as Become Base lets loot the Blossoms, finds one, finds a second onto the Reaper, takes out the Sojourn, makes it 3. Thinking about pushing deeper to chase those final 2 kills, but thinks better of it. And now,
yeah, the angel on his shoulder pulling him back there.
and now Hartford looking at a sound barrier as a response to their Graviton of VCU, but besides that, not too much yet.
Yeah, and you were talking about the deficit that you put yourself in by charging off of the Zarya there. Zarya's going to have a lot of high charge. She still does have that charge right here. The beat comes out with a grab. And Super Vader's able to take down Salty Sylveon, however. The Zarya, having the advantage of the barrier, keeping them alive, trying to chase down this Lucio, but isn't being able to find it.
And something we didn't note in the break is that Super Vader did opt to make the swap onto the Zarya. He's getting brought dangerously low as Blackout, the only support alive for the side of Hartford. Nift looking to build a railgun, looking to bring this fight around for his team. He has one online, misses the shot on the Lucio. Oh, he pops the overclock, he goes for it. It's now or nothing. Nerf for nothing, Nift says. Can't find a shot, looks like it's probably going to be nothing. Oh, but he manages to take out one. Might be able to come back as a recontest with his teammates. Oh, we have the Kiriko now just stalling as long as he can. Thinking about maybe using the ultimate. Super Vader close to this grab. I think they could go for it. They choose to hold onto the ult. Become Base still finds one. Oh, are they going to clutch this? Become Base, the only one, 1v1 versus the Zarya. Zarya, no more bubbles online.
Very low.
Oh, just go for the Blossom! Let's go! Become
An
Base.
incredibly clutch Blossom on the side of Become Base there to finish off a very perilous fight. That was beautiful. Well timed, coming online there, and the 2 DPS standing strong on top of the cart, preventing it from capping second as they bring VCU Rams under a minute. That was incredible.
I was stressing so much during that. Honestly, I was thinking that they would opt to use the Kitsune Rush with the grab, but they hold onto it, thinking that they... I think they either thought it was unwinnable or that they had it in the bag. I couldn't tell which. But now they have the Kitsune online and the grab still in their pocket. Grab comes out. He's still holding onto it. He doesn't use it. Grab finds 3 in their backline. Become Based, gets taken out. Super Vader and Blackout, all that remain. I really think they wish they used that Kitsune Rush and played. I think they wish they played more aggressively and acted earlier.
Yeah, that was an act second situation in which both the beat and the bell from the Kiriko coming out late there as we were spectating from Galaxy's point of view, having the bell online the entire time but opting not to use it until it was too late, sadly. And the University of Hartford does succumb to all of those ult advantages. They're definitely playing a little slower when it comes to the Zarya comp. Maybe they're unaccustomed due to all the practice they've been putting in on the Winston, but we do see the Kiriko ult online here and it's really popped.
Kitsune Rush used, looking to go straight into the backline as we see the Kiriko just trying to gun down, or kunai down the Lucio perhaps. Now trying to heal the enemy Sojourn as you would. Sojourn, only one that remains. Looks like Become Base was thinking about trying to push up there, but VCU did a great job just kind of kiting out that ultimate. You know, pushing in fast with the Kiriko of their own. Super Vader, no more bubbles left in the tank. And we're in relatively dangerous waters. It's actually, nobody's pushing the payload. So, Hartford not in the worst state. Finally.
Oh, Nift going back. What? Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't know. Nift just doing Nift things. Finds the headshot onto Salty Sylveon. Now, thinking about taking the head off of Jelini. Opts just to hold on to it. Thinking about shooting someone else later, taking their time. Oh, Nift just gets blown to pieces. Overclock comes out trying to find the matchup, but Jelini takes him out. Now, Super Vader extremely close to his grab, but he's dangerously low. He has no bubbles. He's low charge, and he falls. Nift switches over to the Tracer, just trying to stall. And VCU Rams take full full cap, sorry, the checkpoint of Kings Row.
But they do with no time, and that's going to be an important factor on the side of University of Hartford. If they can cap with more than a minute on the board, they're going to be in really strong position to just finish this off with either a win or a draw. So the University of Hartford is definitely going to be trying to gun for that, at the very least bringing it into overtime by capping with any time remaining. And that was a little of a poor position overall for the University to be playing in. Oftentimes looking like they're on the back foot the entire time on defense. Hopefully their attack is going to be much stronger. I think that they easily could opt into the Winston play here to play for speed and more aggressive nature, but that Zarya has been undeniably strong, not only in the meta and comp and every other level of play, but in the game here today. Panda is really proving a point and putting an emphasis point at the end of it to the efficacy of Zarya in this meta currently. As we're going to see some interesting play from Nift here. This is going to start on the Widow, most likely swapping over to the Sojourn after getting a pick. Maybe how many shots do you think University of Hartford gives them?
Knowing Nift, I think he's just gonna shoot once, maybe twice. If the enemy team is just like hanging out in his sightlines, he might just take as many shots as he can. But my expectation is that they're not gonna give him anything, and he's just gonna swap pretty early.
Yeah, and Nift, an incredibly diligent player, knowing when to swap and
see.
when to make the differences. Yeah, and that's important. That's an important factor of playing again, or any support, or sorry, any damage role.
Now we see Become Based uses his Wraith really early. Might make it pretty dangerous waters if he wants to go for a duel. Enemy Zarya low on bubbles, looking to just get blown up in the center of the point. Gets the save from his team's supports, but Nift gets taken out. Panda finds another, and Super Vader very low in the backline. I couldn't tell who that was, but someone appeared to have been flanking. Galaxy forced into respawn simulator.
Absolutely, and the major difference here between the comps isn't the tank, as we've typically seen in the past, but instead the Baptiste from Galaxy, opting away from the Kiriko, back towards something that he's a little bit more well known for, before the Kiriko drop and before the prevalence of its play, and already coming out real early again from the University of Hartford's come base.
Now, again, as you mentioned, Galaxy opting to swap over to that Baptiste, just known more as a comfort pick. He hasn't had as much experience as he would like on the Kiriko. I believe he's had PC issues at his dorm, so now he's only able to play matches while having access to the school's computer room. So,
and it is well known that PC mining rigs like the 12 that he does have in his dorm room aren't very good at playing Overwatch, so it's not like that is a possibility for him.
Now, Hartford gets control. During their second fight, they managed to take the first checkpoint. Now, the enemy Sojourn barely missing his shot onto Nift. It could have been bad, but Panda, we see, has his ultimate. Hippie goes in with the Kitsune Rush. Nift trying to slow things up. Thinking about popping the ult. Chooses better of it. Just sees Become Base falls. Lack of an immortality field. We've got a flank here.
Yeah, that Reaper's coming in on the left side, pushing down the Baptiste to incredibly low health. The bubble does come out and Super Vader doing a great job of saving his support there as the Reaper's going to be forced out. Wow, that's a lot of damage. As Salty Sylveon is coming alive right now, and you can see it on the side of University of Hartford by watching their health pools just blink down every 2 seconds.
This is
an aggressive window coming out.
I was about to say, this is about to be an expensive fight, as so many ultimates are getting used from both sides. Window,
and somehow they end out equal.
What is going on? Jelini, maybe all that remains? Is there anyone else behind point? Kiriko, and that is going to be a team kill. As, yep, it seems all of VCU is sent to the spawn room, and as I said, that was an expensive fight. Window, Sound Barrier, Death Blossom from the side of Hartford, as well as Graviton, Overclock, and Death Blossom as well from VCU. Now, we have the Grav and the Overclock for Hartford against the Sound Barrier. Oh, Nift pulling out the Overclock early here, just looking to find some heads. Doesn't make any purchase by the looks of it. Still thinking about the Kiriko. Sojourn slides up. Sojourn brought 1 HP. Gets saved due to this Graviton coming out into the backline. They opt to use the Sound Barrier, and they're just going to clean this one up. Hartford now still with a 3-minute time bank. Come Galaxy.
Try to
Just
stake
trying to
around
run
here.
away. Is he
Might
gonna?
be able to make it out.
Oh,
Ooh, the
fantastic
clutch
movement.
jump.
Is he gonna get chased by this Reaper? Reaper.
Reaper's still going.
Oh! Come Galaxy, run!
Playing an
Run!
absolute horror game as the Kiriko comes to back her up, but she has no TP anymore.
Oh
That
my
could be very
lord!
large.
Kiriko
They thought it
dies
was the
for
wrong side
it!
of the door. They can't hit me though.
Where's the Reaper? Oh, Reaper makes it back.
He dug dipped.
Just says, haha, I'm so sorry, Kiriko, but I'm out. As Hippie hung out to dry by Salty Sylveon. And I think Hartford might just get this for free now.
A brutal friendship on the inside as we get to see a glimpse into the real lives, I hope not, of Salty Sylveon and Hippie there. Not defending each other as brothers in arms should, but instead allowing each other to go down and give up that fight there as they essentially had a team fight start at a 5v4 after a perilous goose chase. A wild goose chase on the side of VCU Rams, giving
Now-
University of Hartford 3 minutes in this third point.
Now, while I can't say that VCU played that necessarily optimally.
Jelani goes off the map.
What the? Wait, what? Okay. Anyways, Nift pulls out with railgun straight into the body of a Radius. I'm stumbling on my words. I don't understand how Gerlini did that. Maybe I mess up with the slide. Come Galaxy, just jumping, trying to dodge. Doesn't really
He
have
hears
any
the
better
Wraith
options.
walk and gets very scared, which is understandable on the side of University of Hartford's NIF. That VCU Rams Reaper is just doing a fantastic job of taking flanks. However, that body shot very close to taking him out, and this is going to be another 5v5 fight. Can't expect mistakes like that Jelani slip up every single time.
A lot of ultimates coming online. Grav comes out, sound barrier to match. Death Blossom right on top of him. Doesn't find anything, but come base now with a Blossom of his own. Gets a triple. Salty Sylveon only manages to get credit on the Immortality field. And now Nift has the overclock. Come Galaxy with the window. I would love to see them combo this together if possible. But it appears they're just going to be taking their time. Nift, this is where it happened the first time. Will it happen again?
And I do believe it was against this team as well, right? An incredible position to be in.
Might have been.
Sniper's Nest, well, Sniper's Nest. Charge rail to start off, misses. Overclock's popped on both sides here. Taking an aggressive angle and drops out the window. Not finding anything about that, but that grab is in the back line.
Nift unable
Vader
to find
finds two.
anything. But Super Vader with the grab does find two, but come base finds another two go down. Zarya, all that remains. And Hartford cap with a minute and a half, which is going to be just as you mentioned at the end of VCU's attack. Capturing with time is incredibly important in a match such as this. Hartford having captured the objective with over a minute versus VCU who captured with 0 seconds results in Hartford having that minute and a half time bank where all they need to do is capture a single tick. VCU having kept without any time in the bank, best they can hope for is a draw as they do not get offered an attack phase of their own.
Yeah, and you lose that winnable factor on the side of VCU Rams, but the importance here is mind stay and keeping the momentum going. Their play on Kings Row has been immaculate. Besides the small slip-ups from Jelani, Salty Sylveon and Hippie chasing on the Galaxy that could be brushed aside very easily. The rest of their play has been immaculate. Jelani hitting very well-timed headshots. The pressure from Panda and a Radius getting deep into the backline of University of Hartford has been everything for this team. And if VCU Ram wants to make sure that they stay in this series and don't lose their playoff run right here, right now, they definitely want to try for a draw at the very least to keep the momentum going and potentially flip that to a W in the next match. That's all to be seen as we have 10 seconds here on the start here. University of Hartford in a prized position to just take it all here right now. Sorry. Best of 5. I don't know the best of 3. That is my mistake. I'm playing in different leagues. A little bit too much recently.
1 or 2. Now, as I say 1 or 2, Nift looks for 1 or 2 shots. Swaps over to the Sojourn pretty quickly. And 1 or 2 again. Hartford might have 1 or 2 fights, depending on, you know, how clean it goes. If they trickle, if they stagger. Super Vader not finding much with any of these bubbles he's using, as I say.
This is a strong push, though.
And they take out Salty Sylveon for it. Blackout just absolutely dominating. Takes out 2. And now Sojourn, all that remains. And Hartford goes up 2-0 in our first playoff round.
And I do believe that's going to be going into the montage here. Blackout, our resident montage expert and a fantastic purveyor of good clips. Not only that, but fine editing styles. Don't know if it's posted online just yet, but if it ever does, you'll be hearing about it here first as we do watch this incredible play of the game by Super Vader. We were talking about this while we were watching Nift from the other side, seeing him not hit the shots that he needed to. Super Vader was doing the work, and that's the important thing to remember. You're 5 people on a team. One person can just distract. A heavy ultimate, a Widowmaker, something with high damage capabilities, because you know the stature of Nift can put the fear of God inside of another team and make it very unlikely for them to expect other players to do a good job. And that's exactly what UHart did there, as they do shore up the 2-0 over VCU Rams here. And that was an incredible match. That was beautiful.
Very well done by the side of Hartford. Got a little dicey, and ooh, I like this choice. It appears VCU is opting to go to Pariso. Now, last time I saw Hartford playing this map, we got a question mark? Oh, wait, yeah. Oops, LOL.
And a little bit of confusion that's a little bit understandable on the side here of VCU Rams. It's a fire map. It's really, really fun, but we did just play a hybrid. It's a new map as well, so I don't expect everybody to know that off the top of their heads. I think both of these casters here saw that and was like, yeah, would love to watch some Parisa right now. Because it's definitely a fun game that a fun map that I would love to see a lot more of in the future. But for right now, we're going to be finding a different, simply escort map, and hoping a little bit that we don't end up in a push situation, as University of Hartford attempted to avoid that by just finishing it off with a 3-0, rather than having to run through the gambit of finishing off a 2-1 situation. Just puts you in dire straits, to be sure.
Alright.
So we'll head into another new map.
Looks like we'll be going into Circuit Royale.
Nope, Circuit Royal.
Circuit Royal. Sorry, I got my
There's no
my
E at the
battle
end.
I got my battle royals mixed up here.
Actually, could I request something? Could you write that down on the list of problems? Just Circuit Royale. Not having the E at the end of the name, an incredibly cringe maneuver from a company that does work and operate inside of the United States, in which English is the most predominant language, and Royal and Royale being two very different words that are always pronounced the same for some reason. Whenever on Overwatch League broadcast, would love for either the casters to point this out, or somebody in the dev team to actually change it, because this is Circuit Royal here for the third map.
Now, if similar to Esperanza, if you listen to the announcer, they announce it Circuit Royale, as you would expect. So
but that isn't the word. I saw the A. Jiggle the camera more. Oh, there was like a black box that was showing up near the spawns of VCU Rams here, as they're going to be starting off attacking in an interesting swap here, as both teams are going to respect the playground that they're going to be operating within, and heading over to a little bit more ranged compositions. Nif starting off on the Widow, Super Vader on the Sigma, Ditto for Panda, and Salty Sylveon on Widow. Those are going to be the ones that we're watching the most. However, University of Hartford opting for a double sniper comp, as opposed to Jelani taking the, instead of the Hanzo, like Become Based, instead going for the Sojourn. Incredibly strong of a hero, but when you just have pedigree and years spent playing Hanzo at a high level like Become Based does, could be the better option, at least for this University of Hartford team.
Now, I'm really hoping we get some magic from Nift here. Well, doesn't quite find anything with the grapple. Trying to keep an eye out. He might have seen the yeah, he saw. Oh, maybe he didn't. I thought he saw the railing break. I thought he was aware. Isn't gonna find anything. Oh, the Hanzo Become Base getting pushed really aggressively as Salty Sylveon just takes out 2 heads at the beginning of this fight and make that 3.
Wow, and that's exactly what I was talking about. The end of King's Row. The momentum is there. Salty Sylveon has been incredibly hot. Jelani has been incredibly hot. Now on the side of VCU Rams, we definitely have a fantastic option here for the Virginia Commonwealth University to do a very good job as they put barrier in position. Blackout calling out for walls. Somehow thinking that there's a cheating scandal going on. However, it's just going to be incredible skill on the side of VCU Rams as Salty Sylveon finds another. Traded, however, with Become Based finding one onto Hippie. But Nift not alive on the side of the University of Hartford. Oh, very well-timed arrow, taking Salty Sylveon down to half. This is
Oh,
an
my
incredible
lord!
battle happening right now.
How does Become Base do this? I don't understand Hanzo. It's just like an RNG character, right? If it's just RNG, why are his numbers so much higher than mine?
I think two simple words in my mind: dream luck. Obviously, something has to be tilting the scales here. Blackout calling out potentially the wrong cheater, as I've seen it a million times over and over again on different computers, on fresh setups, and in person, and I will still think that Become Base is cheating at the end of the day. An absolutely incredible player, streaky at times, but professional and putting in a lot of the work recently, doing a great job.
They have pings on that Widow going up just so he can always be ready for wherever the Widow peeks from. Grapple goes up. This Widow knows exactly where he is. Oh! Dancing Planet with fire! Oh my lord! How does Nip do it? Does he take off another? No, Become Base with the dominant dragon through the sidewall. Takes out both the supports. Oh, Nift. Oh, Nift. You can't do this to us. You can't do this to us.
And we have been singing the praises absolutely of Salty Sylveon, probably getting more kills at the end of the day, but Nift hitting the important ones and the incredible shots there, negating Salty Sylveon's ultimate, whilst being seen the entire time doing a small little jig and dance behind that statue and just pulling up one of the most impressive shots we've seen of the day so far. Nift just, you know, not putting on a clinic necessarily, but proving some points, absolutely.
Hoping to kind of just, okay. Not again.
Okay.
Oh lord. Oh gosh. This is just the Widow show right now. Battle of the Widows. Whoever finds more picks at the beginning of these fights is gonna bring his team the advantage. Oh, Soldier takes it out. Baptiste, practically the same character.
Actually, Baptiste does more damage.
Is that true?
Yes. It is. And it's a sorry state of Overwatch that we're currently in, but metas aside, University of Hartford positioned very well here at this first corner on Circuit Royal, and it's a sniper's alley right here.
Now, I gotta go back to your point. Is that like talking about like using your window, or is that just like with his gun versus Soldier's gun?
I think gun versus gun. Overall DPS.
As of when?
I don't know. I could be spreading some misinformation online. I am going off of the musings of random streamers, your Metros of the world, criminal and career complainers. But I'm not going to see any complaints as the window comes out. And Nift finds Salty Sylveon again, an incredibly powerful, dominant headshot onto their Widow.
Just spinning around in a circle as his teammates clean him up. Soldier, guy did it again. Baptiste finds the last pick for a grapple shot into their spawn room. Tracer not going to be able to touch his Nift. Puts one more shot into their temple just for good luck. As Hartford looks to come into what hopes to be the final round of this first match.
Yeah, and this could be an incredibly short one. A very strong and dominant opportunity here to cement this victory for the University of Hartford. An incredibly strong performance from the entirety of the team. I will say, Salty Sylveon doing a great job on the Widow, and if their team is able to group up the same way that University of Hartford's did, we could be seeing a very winnable, defendable position here for VCU Rams, but it's going to be largely on the back of that Widow finding key picks, not just getting them at any time during the fight, key, timely picks, and the rest of the team for VCU Rams positioning well, denying cart progress, and making sure that they have their Widow have the sights necessary. But something interesting is happening in the spawn here. Outside of the spawn for VCU Rams, is we're going to see a character swap here.
Indeed. So, Jolini appears to have swapped over to the Widowmaker, where Salty Sylveon had previously been, and Sylveon opts to play the Hanzo for this defensive hold.
And Jelani's mom saying it's time for Jelani to play on the controller, on the Xbox, and Salty Sylveon giving him the sticks, opting to take the wooden sticks on Hanzo here. And let's see if they're able to replicate the performance here from University of Hartford on this first point.
And just gotta give a quick shout out to our Overwatch sponsor, Couldn't read any of it because I don't speak French. I assume it's French. But now we have Widowmaker
Quebecois.
lurking.
Ooh.
Uh,
Literally ditto headshots at the exact same time, become base dying whilst Jelani die. They killed each other. Wow. Oh, as Nip has a
Nip.
beautiful headshot.
Just looking for a body shot cleanup on that Hanzo. Zenyatta and Sigma up. Cleans up the Zen. Just spray him down. Just spray him down. Alright, Super Vader does the work. Oh, I switch off right as Nif takes off another member of VCU, and now it's just Sigma, Baptiste, all that remain as the rest of the team going for the respawn.
And it's really close. I mean, we're talking maybe even a half fight here as the VCU Rams are going to probably go in without a full squad of present. As the cart gets incredibly close, they're going to have to touch here. Nif still having a great angle on that hill, brought incredibly low. The lamp already used for VCU Ram.
Headshots, finds a body. Oh, they
that
forgot.
Is going to be the end of the game.
They forgot.
And forgoing is understandable as that cart was in a very, very difficult position. That victory box beckoning for the University of Hartford. That's going to be the first playoff win for the University of Hartford up against VCU Rams. A valiant effort on the side of both teams. With Hartford bringing it over with a 3-0 victory. Finished off here on Circuit Royal. Doing just an exquisite job of sniping. Not only of that, but supporting it as the rest of the team just kills it from top to bottom.
So, I wonder if there's any person specifically you would want to call out during this match, like praise,
Some sort of
give
player
some
of the
credit.
match.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I think that the University of Hartford overall played incredibly well. I think that as a whole they did fantastic, and I think one unsung hero that we don't talk about enough is Kumbalaxy. I would love to hear his takes if we're talking about interview opportunities when it comes to the overall comms and just positioning of trying to hold the team together as the glue. Your Baptiste, your main healer, typically going to be the person to do that, making sure everybody has the ability to take damage, push positions, have chokes held down solidly, and I think he did a good job of that today. Though it might have not been the flashiest, it's a thankless role, and I think we should take the time today to thank him.
Similarly, I was gonna give a bit of a shout out to Blackout on the Lucio. He was kind of lethal today. There were so many fights where he ended up getting finishing blows, and if he didn't find those finishing blows, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Hartford would have been able to close out those series, like those maps, as quickly as easily as they did.
Absolutely, and that was also a very fast match overall. Only 50 minutes total, with a little bit of delay, and obviously we were taking that time well after it's actually ended. University of Hartford being really embattled by their strong backline. Hopefully we can maybe get one of them in for a nice little interview at the end. And it seems like we are going to be having something like that, as we're going to get that prepared for you guys right here on twitch.tv/AirColver.